Hey, hey, hey. This is me again. This is Dr. Kit. And you know what time it is. It is Monday, 6 p.m. Central Time. And it is time for the shake up. Yeah, y'all been just sitting around all week doing nothing. So it's time for the shake up with Dr. Kit. And so listen, man, I'm so glad to know that you're here with us. As always, when my wife makes some good smoothie, you hear this story every week. She makes some good smoothie, when she makes a good smoothie, man, I tell you what, let it sit for a while in the refrigerator or somewhere, it just settles. The good stuff goes to the bottom, and the other stuff goes to the top. So when you shake it up, everything gets mixed. So the shake up is not about changing the structure of things or the information that you get. It's just about reframing it, give it to you in another way, and ask you about, listen, have you ever thought, or maybe you're going to say to yourself, well, I've never thought about it that way. And that's a good thing, because that is one of the key components of learning, when you're willing to shake up something and accept that there is another way and be willing to at least see how well it's going to work for you. Okay, so that's fine. So listen, if what we'd like for you to do, if you want to be a part of this show, we would like you to we'd like for you to listen, follows, like, follow, share, and subscribe. That's, we ask you to do that every week. Like, follow, share, subscribe. That is the lifeblood of this program here, because, we can continue to grow and grow and grow only because of your participation in and on the show. Okay. Now, there is something else that we'd like for you to do if you would like to be a part of the shake up. And we want you to be a part of the shake up. We invite people to be a part of the shake up. We welcome people to be participants in the shakeup, to be considered for future show. Just go right ahead and email your information to drkitspeaks@gmail.com. That's drkitspeaks@gmail.com to be considered for a future show. We'd love to have you on. You can be on camera, or you can be off camera. Of course, we'd love to have you on camera, but there are those who would prefer to be a little bit more anonymous, and so that's good. All right, enough said. Listen, we have something good for you tonight. Something good that's coming up that my wife and I are going to be participating in, in just a couple of weeks from now, 2-3 weeks from now. And we have, one of the organizers here with us today. Today, he's hiding in the green room. Yeah, I say he's hiding in the green room. What do you think his name is? Listen, is that a play on words, or is that not?
I like that. That's right. You're right on it. You're right on the right track there, Dr. Kid. Yeah. So
Right
yeah,
on it.
I thank you for inviting me to come on this evening, Dr. Kid. It's an honor and a pleasure. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, man. Listen, we're just so happy that you would want to come on, because I know you're a busy, busy, busy person, very busy person. You and
Yes,
your
sir.
wife, your good wife, you're traveling solo tonight, but we know that you have a wife who works hard alongside of you. And so I
Yes.
just want, if she's listening, I want to say thank you, Doc, for just being here, allowing your husband to come on. And if you're not listening, Coach, just go ahead and convey our thank you to her.
Yeah.
And of course, we
Yes.
know we look forward to seeing y'all in a few short weeks from now. All right, Coach. So listen, man, what you got for us? Listen, man. Tell us about yourself. Tell us some things about yourself, who you are, what you do, and and stuff like that. Go ahead, man. Go on.
Well, yeah, my name is Terrell Green, Coach Green. I'm a life coach, and me and my wife, we work together. My wife's a therapist, and we have our own practice. We're doing therapy and coaching services, and the name of the company is Green Banks Therapy and Coaching Services. And so my wife, she's a doctorate in professional counseling, marriage and family therapist, and she's also one of the people who motivate me to be a part of this field. Because my background, I've been in construction. I pastored for almost 20 years, and so now I'm no longer pastoring, moving into another area in life. and I'm becoming a coach. And never thought that the whole time that I've been doing some coaching, but never realized that that it was going to be an area that I would go into more in detail. So I'm excited about that, and also excited about being able to work with you, also, Dr. Kit, and in our upcoming event that we're having. And so it's just so much, and like I say, it's so many details to cover. You can't cover it all in just one statement. Sometimes you have to keep going in. That's what I like about the shake up, Dr. Kid. By the time you get going with Dr. Kid, something's gonna start brewing up. So I'm
Start
definitely
brewing up.
excited about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Listen, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so man, you got quite a broad background, and in each of these areas, it just came to me, construction, you are helping, you are constructing something for somebody. Pastoring, you're
Yes.
constructing them spiritually. Coaching,
Yes.
you are constructing them emotionally. Man, you've been in this business all this time, man. You've been doing this, man. You've been
Yes.
doing this. Man. You've been
Is
doing
it
it.
amazing?
Yeah, it
You
is.
you
It is.
never know where the journey takes you.
You never know. You just got to keep going and just keep walking down that road and just enjoy the journey. And when you get there, you say, wow, yeah, you get there. All right, enough of that, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, well, I'm glad, so glad, so at the end of the show, we want you to put it out there again, the name of your company, what you do and all that. We'll give you another opportunity for that, okay? But right now we want to just talk about what is it about you and your wife that made you decide that you wanted to get into the human affairs of people's lives? I mean, how did you get there? I know she's a doctor, she's prepared for that. You're a preacher, you were prepared for that in your own right. So can you give us a kind of a walkthrough in that, and then we're going to get on to some other things.
Definitely, it's like I stated before, it's the journey that brought us here, and just thinking about it. And on behalf of my wife, I just like to let me know that she wanted to be here, but she had an evening session today, so she wasn't able to be here with us.
Okay, all
But
right.
just in a nutshell, Dr. Kid, we discovered this direction in our pathway in ministry and in life, and not realizing how relevant that it was doing ministry, dealing with people. When you're dealing with people, then you're dealing with relationships and families and marriages and all of these different things within the church. But we began to discover how that it was so unlearned or unheard of about therapy, counseling, coaching in those different areas. I mean, being in the church, counseling is a familiar practice, but the details and the depth of it, and that's one of the things that drove me and my wife to this place, is to be able to see that even though we can minister to people, that there's a professional side of other things that can help us. Not saying that we're not equipped enough in ministry for certain things, but sometimes we're not qualified enough in order to be able to get into the details and begin to see those things, focusing on some of the key fundamentals, basically in building, making relationships, building relationships, and seeing the things that were lacking, the information and the tools that were not common. And so we began to look farther because we wanted to be not only more prepared to help people, we wanted to be more knowledgeable, more equipped, more skilled, and more qualified to
Mm.
help the people. And so that's the reason why that brought us here. And so just beginning to understand that in these different areas, then we just wanted to bring together something. And that's the reason why we're having the event, the relationship brunch. It's the Make It Last relationship brunch is really something that we're bringing together so that people can receive valuable information and tools that can help them from licensed professionals and people who can share their expertise in relationship building and strengthening, on different sides and all those different things. And so as we grow, I see that every day I'm learning more and more, and never get to the point where you think that you have enough. Always looking to be able to grow in areas where we can be more effective at helping people, you know. Because we can have a conversation or we can talk about it, we can chit chat, shoot the breeze and all that, but what are we doing, in the structure of being able to help on another level? That's the
Okay,
idea that I
yeah,
get.
I like that, but I want to kind of walk it back a little bit, the stuff that you're sharing with us, which is amazing. And when I talk to a lot of people that come to see me, one of the things they say, when they go to their pastors for counseling, they say that pastors tend to be more spiritual. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but they don't get deeply into the emotional component of the emotional unwellness of the people, where the pain rests. And you can't just
Exactly.
go to Psalm and say, I will dwell, he that dwells in the secret place in the most high shall abide. You can't just go and do that, because people are really hurting, even though it's got, listen, spiritual components got its place, but then you got to know when to bring that in. How does that work? And what kind of what would you say to some of the pastors who, because you've been in that, what would you say to them to kind of help them to be more eclectic, be more wider in their approach when people come to them? Okay, come in, please.
Yes. And so that's a good question, Dr. Kidd. I think I would approach that, me seeing that we on that on that subject of talking about spiritual counseling, spiritual awareness, but also I would say to pastors that even in the midst of our spiritual growth, that we always want to continue. As we go, when we go to scripture, it says, study to show yourself approved unto God, a
Yeah,
workman
yeah,
that does not need to be ashamed. And
right.
so, but it also says rightly dividing the word of truth. So you're rightly, putting it in perspective. And so even with the Bible, the wisdom is so extensive that we can't even keep up with it all. And
Right.
that's the thing, that there are more areas that we have to discover as pastors, that we always want to, as we want to study and we want to grow spiritually so we can be effective spiritually, we want to study and grow in other areas as well, because a lot of times when we think about it, when we separate the fundamentals and we divide them up, we categorize them, but the way we categorize them separates everything. But when we bring it all together, then we start thinking about how that, if it wasn't for us learning how to study, how to read, how to write, we wouldn't be effective in delivering our messages from the Bible, or being able to to teach, or all those things. So we have to go beyond just that comfort zone, and say that that there is more to this. And so I want to put the work in so that I can be able to continue not only growth for myself, but helping others to grow. That's what it's about. And so this is something that's needed, that we realize that in our communities, particularly in our community, we realize that the therapy, counseling, and those areas are not common. So they're not welcomed as easy as they would be, because people don't have the knowledge. And so we need to be able to understand that what's missing the most is being able to be taught, and being able to be directed and guided to the next level. And
Right.
so that way we can be able to be in a place where our relationships become solid,
Right.
And so that's why I appreciate the work that you do, Dr. Kidd.
Right.
I mean, those things are helpful for people. We need that.
Right. Listen, let me take this here from Ellen G. People in the church are not immune from emotional and mental health challenges. So thank you for your contribution in helping others to mentally healthy. This is Ellen G. I thank you for that. How can you respond to that, Coach Green? About that the merger between the alliance between the church and the spiritual and the emotional. Can you answer
Definitely, it's a very sensitive area, but it's one that we need not to approach it lightly, because when we think about it, emotional and mental issues, and some of these develop before people come to the church, and when we do, sometimes is that our mindset and mentality is to be able to impart into them or pour into them from the spiritual aspect, and a lot of times we see that people get to a certain place and they don't realize that you can get to a standstill, because once you reach this one particular area or accomplish your spiritual goals and this and that, still yet I need to deal with what's going on down on the inside, what's going on deep down in my heart and in my mind and my soul. All of these are connected together, so I can't just be focused just on my soul only. I need to be able to focus on my mental health, my mental growth, and my mental health, and my emotional stability,
Okay.
because a lot of times that if we are emotionally unstable, sometimes we're going to get mixed up with what's spiritual and what's not. So it's
Mm.
very important, that maturity is necessary. And so that's one of the things that, I would encourage other pastors to be able to give thought and put forth, effort into being able to learn and to grow more in dealing with those things, because there are so many different ways out there that we can learn. And so another thing is that me and my wife ourselves, we believe in counseling and conferences and things that like, going to be able to be a part of, participate in a conference that you may have, and being able to get into the place where we can receive what
Mm.
we need and take that and put that in the basket and continue to build on it and share it.
Okay. Listen. Thank you for that. We're gonna get to the conference in just a little bit, but listen. Uh, we talk about family. We have different types and constructs of families. You know, single family all the way up to nuclear family and everything in between.
Yeah.
And we see those in the churches. Okay, so let's take it out of the churches now, and let's say, um, how do you deal most effectively with the different types of families that come to you and your wife? What kind of approach you take to that, helping them to achieve their goals?
First thing is getting a clear understanding. Where are we? And another thing is that where do we need to go, or where are we desiring to go,
Okay.
and being able to understand each family is unique. We can't put everybody in the same category and group them, as one, when our details are different. Every
Okay.
household is different.
Yeah.
The different types of families, the different cultural structures, and different backgrounds.
Right.
Those things make a difference.
They they
And
they
so,
they, they do, and just the makeup of each family and the age range of each family and health and wellness of each family members and education of each family and finances. So
yeah,
you're right. It just goes on and on
go on.
and on.
Yes, yes,
It,
yes,
it, it-
definitely.
yeah. So
And
so
find it. Oh, go ahead, Dr. Kid.
let me say,
Yeah.
okay, Donna D, is there a mental health component in divinity school? It appears psychology and sociology courses should be a requirement. I give you 25 thumbs up for that, Donna D. Yes,
Definitely,
yes, 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 yes,
definitely.
yes. Yes, because you're
Yes,
dealing with the very core and the existence and the experience of people. Yes. What do you think, sir?
exactly, exactly. And so that's the thing about it. As we look at it again here, and we talk about divinity schools and the focus, the theological focus And the focus is on a lot of things, church growth, church planting, and counseling and all those. But the mental health area is very important. As it talks about in the Bible says that not to be conformed to this world, but transformed by the renewing of your mind. So there's some things that need to be renewed because of our experiences and some of the things that we've learned and some of our patterns and habits that we've developed. But still, yet those things make a difference and being able to help people because that lies in the mental and the emotional areas. And so a lot of those things that our decision making and some of the things that are our interests and our concerns, all of those things come from developing the way we think and definitely understanding how to relate spirituality with mental and the different areas is important. And so that's one of the things about it that I believe that it should be a requirement. I agree with the divinity schools and theology schools. There should be, I would say that a beginning, as we say, the fundamental courses to be
Yeah.
able to get some understanding of that.
Yeah, like the 101 courses, if
101, 101. That's right.
101,
Yeah.
because you are dealing with families, and I attend church every week. I've been doing that. My earliest memory in life, is going to church. Because that is my early with my mother and our family. It's my earliest memory in life, and so some of those fundamental components, if they get planted in the ideas and the minds of people, from real early, and the church is made up of family, made up of individuals, and yet, and so I think pastors, could be astute, in looking into the eyes and into the hearts of people to see if they're hurting. Don't go preaching a prosperity message. They're hurting like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
I don't need a
Yes. Yeah.
prosperity message right now, even though
Definitely.
somebody else might need it, because everybody comes
Right.
need. So now you got to be
Right.
very careful how you go about this thing here.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you know,
Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah. And so that is one of the things that has to be key
yeah. It has
and
to be.
understanding that.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
Definitely.
right. So listen, let's kind of shift gears a little bit, okay? So you've been having conferences now, you and your wife, for some time. You want to talk about that? The conferences that you've had, and the focus of the conferences that you've had, and where you are right now. Where you're going to be in the future in terms of the conferences. And the effectiveness of these things. Why? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, why don't you and your wife go out and have an ice cream together? Why you gonna put all this? Why you
Yeah.
gonna put all this work into trying to
It's
help people?
good.
To help you,
It,
man.
it's
You work. Listen, man. You all work so hard, man. Go give yourself some ice cream, man.
just
But
go have an ice cream.
instead, your
Yeah.
wife is sitting around talking to some people, which is good, and you're here talking to me about the needs of humanity. So
Right.
what what was the seed of that? You and your wife say, "Hey, listen, why don't we?" Or I was thinking about. Can you finish that statement?
Well, definitely the experience of being able to see the different needs of the people,
Oh,
and so sometimes we don't pay attention to what's close to us and near to us, and realizing that even our family members need this type of services. And when we look at it from that perspective, that causes us to be able to understand people outside more. And I say your first ministry is at home. So when you learn how to understand the people that you live with, that you dwell with, the people that you're always you fellowship with, that you come together with, understanding those people, but then bringing in other people from the outside. These people may appear to be total strangers, but the issues are familiar,
mm,
and learning how to deal with those things to direct people and help them on their healing journey and all of these different things. That's one of the greatest asset of being able to recognize that there's a need. And that's what puts us in this particular area. and just learning, being servants, that you serve more than one way in life. There are people that serve, and we don't think that service or being a servant is related to church, but there are people that are servants in all different areas, and we serve in many different ways. There are people that serve their family members that are not even religiously or God conscious, or practice any type of religion, but still yet that there's a need for the family. And so it's about family. It's about relationships. It's about those that are close to you, and it's about helping, people, coming together, staying together, strengthening those areas that cause us where we have obstacles. There's always something that can get in the way at any time that you're not prepared for. But learning how to be able to, sort through those things and navigate through that is important. And
And
so that's one of our inspirations right there.
that's what one of your inspirations is to get into the core of what what's going on in people's lives. And so, of course, there's a
Yes.
trust issue that they trust you, they trust you, and so they will share all of that with you. But as you were talking about that, something is telling me, your particular journey away from construction, and I know you talked about it, but about you though, you said you did this and this and this, but how did you experience yourself to say, I'm going to lay down my tools of construction and I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to do this? I mean, what happened to you, like right here where you're saying, I need to, or I would like to, or how do you transition from that? Because so that you can be of help to people. Then we're going to talk about the conference.
Well, is using myself as an example coming into this, that every area that I transitioned into in life, I brought the tools that I had from the other area when I was able to grow in one thing. And just talking about the construction as an example, and being able to, if I'm going to do carpentry work, or do a carpenter's job, then there's some tools I'm going to need. I'm going to need a tape measure. I'm going to need a saw. I'm going to possibly need a hammer and a drill, and those essential tools in order to get the job done. I need that more than just the materials, the wood and the materials for the project. So without having the proper tools, I can't complete the project properly. But taking those tools and the structure, learning in the field of construction means that I'm building. I'm learning to build. I'm learning how to enhance, and learning how to restore. And all of these are parts of the construction area. So moving into other areas, then my mentality thinks the same, that I'm still, I need to be able to focus on the building, focusing on restoration. If anything, is damaged or need to be repaired or replaced, focusing on that and using that just as the basic focus on how to move into these other areas. Being able to coach with someone is being able to let them know that we want to see what you have to work with, and see how effective that you are with using those tools. And so once we can either try to complete a project without the tools, which is one thing we know that's going to be difficult. And then another thing is that having the tools, but not knowing what to do with them,
Mm.
that makes a difference.
Okay.
And so that's one of the things that I look at in my mindset,
No
is
matter.
saying that I had to transition this discipline from one area to another area.
Okay.
And that's how we keep it going.
Okay. So the name of your conferences that you've done a number of these, right? You and your wife have done a
Well,
number.
we've done conferences different types, but this is, we're just getting into this area with doing the relationship conferences.
Okay.
This particular type of conference is basically, it's relationship focused. We have also focusing on marriages and individuals as well. But in this particular type of conference, that we want to focus more so on the relationships with things that need to be looked at in some of the areas where people are not aware on what to do, where to go, what's the next thing to happen. The conferences we've had in the past have always been structured with a theme. with a goal, with a purpose. And so when we develop the theme, we have a goal, and what's is it that we're trying to accomplish here, and understanding that, and being able to identify with the purpose of it, and that's what our focus is on the conferences, so that way we can be able to bring people together, try to meet them where they are, and then help them in their journey to move into another place, advance.
Right. Thank you. Now you have a Make It Last relationship conference that's coming up. Before
Yes,
you talk about the conference and the nitty gritty, what I pay attention to names and titles and stuff that, what identifies things. Make it last. What in the world got into you and your wife to come up with a title like Make It Last Relationship Brunch? So, man, you going to feed some people, man? You going to fatten some people up?
I tell you, we just fatten them up, satisfy their, their taste buds, or whatever it is we can do to be able to make it comfortable and exciting. And so the Make It Last, the theme title for this particular brunch, Make It
Yeah.
Last, is talking about the things that we need to do, things we need to invest in making our relationships last. And some of the idea of that comes from thinking about how that, how people that we get people get into relationships, and they can't get a real understanding of a real life relationship because they're focusing on trying to have a fairy tale relationship. You
What
know
you mean by
what I
that?
mean by that?
What you mean by
Well,
fairy tale
Doc,
relationship, man? Yeah, talk
the,
about that. What's a
the,
fairy tale?
there are things that are realistic, Dr. Kit, and then there are things that are not realistic.
Okay.
But the thing about it is that how do we find the truth of who we are? Is
Okay.
understanding us and not trying to focus on what somebody else is or what somebody else does or what they have, but basically trying to discover myself in the relationship, because being able to get together in a relationship is a whole lot easier than trying to stay together in a relationship. And some people are not as challenged as others, but there's a lot of challenges in relationships, especially that, as you learn in the people that you're with or the people you're in a relationship with. And so making it last, is the whole focus and idea of that, is that now we got to this place, or maybe you're looking to enter that place. Maybe someone maybe they're not in a relationship, but they're interested in getting into a relationship, but knowing what to look for, and being able to get in position so that you can build a foundation that can last. And so make it last is basically the whole focus of it. What do we do? We're in this relationship, and we're in love, or we're connected, but how do we stay connected? How do we keep this going? And maybe everything might be good, as we find that some people may consider their relationship to be good, but what can we do to build on it? What can we do to grow? Because that's what life is about. As we grow, then we should grow in other areas of our life.
Hmm.
And we want to make a solid foundation. We want to make it last. We don't want it to be a fly by night mission. Come in and get married, and okay, and whatever it is that I don't like, or I don't want to do, I don't care about. Okay, well then I'll just move on, and I'll try it again another time. But relationships are an investment,
Right.
and so why would you be so careless, entering into something, or trying to hold on to something that's valuable, and not being able to make sure that you're building on what you need to keep it.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, I thank you for that really good explanation. But one of the things that I've noticed, though, that when you say talking about make it last relationship, um, are we talking about marriages? Are we talking about people seriously engaged? Are we, or because people might want to know how to, and I hope you'll talk about it in just a little bit, how to come to your conference, where it's going to be, and the focus and all that, because just so people can so what are we looking at here with relationship? I mean, you can't service everybody, so you may have to focus in. I don't know what.
Yeah, and I believe that we can always get something, that there's a benefit for everybody when we start talking about that, because mainly that people that are already in relationships, like I said, it should be valuable for them, and making an investment, being able to come in. We have some good speakers, and so we've got Dr. Amy Fuller from Fuller Life Therapy Services, and a couple of other speakers, Dr. LaQuinta Nilsson and Dr. Keitha Williams. They're each going to speak on different topics and subjects, and so just an example of some of the different topics. And I know that you're going to be our keynote speaker, Dr. Kit. And so when we talk about each one of them, that the Dr. Amy Fuller, she's going to be talking about mindfulness, just bringing in some things, to be able to help people focusing on, the importance of relationship, and the different things that people need to be able to help to build on that. And Dr. Keitha Williams is another one. She's going to talk about trauma and emotional regulation in relationships. That's going to be one of the subjects. Just going to be brief topics and subjects that are going to be discussed. And so we're going to have another speaker is going to be talking about intimacy. Is it just sex? That's going to be the theme for that topic. And so these different things is something that everyone can possibly benefit from. Getting the knowledge and the tools and all those things, and also coming to a brunch and eating some great food and being able to fellowship and network with some other people.
Listen, I ain't coming there to talk to nobody, man. I'm coming there. Listen, man, I'm coming down there to get some of that good old Houston food. That's why I'm coming. I'm talking.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. There you go. And so then, and not to mention, the prize jewel, as I call you, Dr. Kit, for the conference. You're going to be giving us, everything what you have that's going to be able to help us. And I know that you have, going to come in your own way, and you have some real good things to bring to us. And so all together with all of these different, subjects and topics, and all the different speakers, and all of the good food, the friends and fellowship, we're gonna have a great time.
Great. Definitely. But listen, let me just say this, man. I just really, I'm just, my wife and I, we were just really glad that you would have us to come down. When we met at the shake up, at the stop.
The rest stop. Yes, I enjoyed that.
Down in Atlanta,
Yeah,
and we had a good time there, and so I'm just humbled that you'd have me to come on down and they share. And of course, my wife and I, she'll be there too. But one of the subject matters that you said, and I think that is so important, because I've had people say to me, "Oh, we have not been intimate for a long time," and what they're really saying is we ain't had sex in a long time. So I'm so glad that there's a speaker that's going to be saying, "Oh, whoa, hold up. There is a difference." There is a difference.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people need to know that, so that they can kind of frame their minds. Say, is that all there is? I don't want to get into that, because I know the speaker will. So that's great stuff, man.
Yes. And so, but definitely, those are areas, though. They're part of a relationship. And sometimes we don't, like I say, sometimes we don't understand the full dynamics of relationship. I know I use myself as an example. It depends on your upbringing and the examples you have, and the experiences that you have. because we all grew up in different households, and the dynamics are different. And coming in and learning and understanding, being able to not only being able to study, into this field and be able to gain more knowledge, I began to understand that I was recognizing myself in some of the things that I was learning, where areas where I had not only grown from, but areas that I realized that required more attention. And so then that's when I learned that even a lot of times I fellowship with a lot of pastors in the past, and some of the pastors that I fellowship with, they didn't believe in the practices of mental health in depth and in details. And so literally being able to realize that these different things that we discover, they're part of our life. And these are real life things. These are real life situations. And I began to see myself developing more in areas that I had begun to learn more, and I put those things into practice. That's why I
Right.
say that I'm a builder. I'm construction in construction trades. I believe that give me a tool and I'm going to use it. And
All right.
so that's
Like
one of the things that's important.
like that.
We want to lay the tools out on the table, some of the tools that can be helpful. And we want each individual and couple, a group to be able to grab a hold of the tools and not just say, hey, what is this that I'm holding? But know what it is, identify it, and know how to use it. And
All
so
right.
these things that we name, these different areas, are just to be able to give you tools to be
Yeah.
able to help you.
Thank you, sir. Listen, LNG like what you just said. That I like that, Mr. Green. What Mr. Green said. Relationship is an investment.
Mm,
And
definitely.
you know. If thank you for that, LNG. We talk about the
Yes,
banking
thank
model.
you.
We talk about
Thank
the
you.
banking model here. When I take my
Yes,
money to the bank or to some institution, I'm investing because I want to have greater returns and greater
that's
stability.
right.
So
That's
therefore,
right.
when we come into marriages, we're looking for some return, mutual return from and with our spouses. But listen, it's good. So what you're talking about, you just said something that made me say to myself, man, some of these pastors might really, and some might be coming. See, I'm taking this real slow. I don't talk too loud, wake up some of the pastors out there. But some of them might just really need to come to your conference to understand the mutuality, how it's mutual, between the body, mind, soul, and spirit. This
Right.
holistic approach. And so I'm hoping that they will come. As a matter of fact, that there's a in the chat, viewers can register in the chat. So I would encourage you visitors, those viewers to register in the chat, for this. Now let's talk about, I know you might have talked about it before, but in more kind of a more intentional way. What's going to be some of the benefits of coming to your conference for for the viewers? What do you want them to get out of it? You talk a lot about tools. What do you want them to get out of this so that they can leave saying, yes, I have invested in this conference so I can invest in my relationship? What do you want them to leave with, Coach?
Number one is a mentality, a
Okay.
mindset,
Okay.
to do the work. And that's what it's about, and understanding that. But then on the other hand, that some of these things that they're going to hear, some of these things that are going to be expressed and spoken about, are going to be things that are going to help you to be able to focus on what areas, or what it is that I need to do to get to the place where I can be able to become more stable with what I have. And so I know you talk about, when we're traveling, that there's a bridge at some point, and you have to go across the bridge, but you don't want to cross the bridge if you know that it's not stable.
Right.
So we want people to come in with their relationship, no matter what area, what point that it is, that can be able to leave with more confidence of stability, or more confidence on how to continue to build on that stability. And so it's just not being able to say that it's not going to be a waste of time, definitely, but to be able to talk about that investment. This is something that's adding to it. You have a bank account, it may be good, it may be satisfying, it may not be, but still, yet, who doesn't want to continue to add to their bank account?
Add to the
That's
resources.
a,
Yes.
who's not interested in being able to increase, their bank account, their investment, building on their investment. And a lot of times when we talk about an investment, it's not something that you go into and not believing that is going to go into it believing that it's going to be a waste. You want to go into it believing that it's going to bring you something, whether it be value or whether it be able to give you access, potential, or whatever it may be. And so this is the whole idea for this conference. Is just to be able to have a variety, a few things that can be able to be helpful. Something more, hopefully, that you can take with you that you didn't have before you came.
All right. Thank you, Coach. We're going to begin to wrap this thing up, but from what I know about your wife and yourself, you're very selfless. You're not trying to create this kind of a guru complex so that you are the only one that's doing this. But based on the quality, on the kind of work that you do and the needs that you satisfy out there, what would you say to other people? Because you can't be in all these different places. You're not omnipresent like that. You say you can't be in all these other places, and people are hurting all over. So what would you tell your colleagues to, how can you encourage your colleagues to be a part of this jigsaw puzzle that make it up so that there is coverage like everywhere? What would you tell them?
Being connected to the purpose, knowing that this is the reason why we're here, not for an entertainment, exploration, but to be able to go into something, taking it serious. And so sometimes I use this expression, and people when they see that I'm diligent about something, and I respond in saying that I'm serious about my life. And so we have to come into it and being serious about it, and knowing that that there are things that are always have a need to be focused on, looked at. Some things need to be fine-tuned and tweaked. Some things need to be tightened up that are loose. Some things need to be put back together that are broken. But this is just one of the things that in our focus on these types of brunch and conferences that we're going to continue from here, that one's going to connect to the other to develop a pathway to a journey that one time you come in and you get this part. It's like shopping at a grocery store and going down the different aisles. You might not need everything on this one aisle, but you get something from this aisle and then you go to the next aisle. But still, yet you're filling up your basket and you keep moving. Right. So when you get to the checkout counter, you got everything that you need. You pack up your groceries and you go home and you eat good. That's basically, one of those. One of the things that I think that is going to be good is going to be that the atmosphere. The atmosphere is relationship based. This is what it's about. We're focusing on relationships, and like I said, not just married or just in a relationship, but also possibly a few single people can take something into their focus on, their hoping in decision in going into a relationship. What are some of the things that I want to bring in? Some people go into certain things. It's like somebody's invited you to, to the family cookout, and that some people just show up and some people bring something. And so the reason why they're bringing something is because they're coming to contribute to what they have, but everybody gets to be able to benefit from it, whether they brought something or not. And so
that's good stuff. It's good stuff, and I thank you for that. This bringing this contribution, this mutual contribution from people, and when you have this mutual contribution, it's kind of the salad bowl. Everybody bring the same salad, but they got different components, different ways to put it together. satisfy the
That's
salad
right.
people like me, you know. But
That's right. Yeah.
yeah, you know, but you know what you're saying, man, is making me itch, scratch. Man, maybe I need to talk to you and your wife, and so y'all can school us and how and say, hey, listen, coach, man, we can't wait for you to come to our neck of the wood, man. Can you teach us how to put on one of these conferences? So I'm going to come down. Listen, way back. I used to be in engineering, and there was this German engineer that, man, that guy was so good. He was older than me. That guy was amazing. So I said, man, how'd you do all this stuff? I mean, how'd you learn this stuff? How'd you learn this stuff? And he said to me, you got to be a good thief. I said, ooh, got to be a good thief. He said, yeah,
Okay.
got to be a good thief. And he never told me what it meant. He said, I want you to think about this. He's a very wise man, older guy. And the next day he says, so I said, well, he said, do you think about it? I said, yeah, but I can't think why I need to be a thief. He said, well, what I did was, as I was coming up in this business, I looked at the people that were doing things that I like to do, and I took their ideas and I made their ideas part of mine. He said that's the kind of stealing. He said we don't have to reinvent things. Just get ideas. Take a look at how other people are doing what they're doing. You know, this is why I'm saying I would like to be a thief. You know, steal some of your ideas. You know, of course you're going to get credit for it, but it doesn't matter. It's not the credit. It's the outcome. You know, it's the outcome. You know, so yeah, man. So when I come down, if you see me, I'm stealing. Okay, don't put me on that. Don't put me on that.
That's all right.
Don't say, hey, everybody, we got a thief in the house. They're gonna call the cops on me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So,
it's just to say, man. You know, I admire the work that you and your wife is doing, and I think it can be replicated. You know. And in a lot of different places, in a lot of different and unique ways, man. You know, so yeah, I think that we should kind of focus on, and I'm hoping that some of the other presenters who come by, I'm just hoping that they would take something away from the conference. It's not just for the attendees. It's for me to sharpen my iron, sharpen that iron. You know, your iron sharpen my iron. You know what I'm saying? So that I can be as more effective. And one of these, I say, yo, Coach Green, man, I'm, you know, this, you know, I say, you're going to say, well, you know, man, you know, maybe you need to think about this, maybe. And so we begin to become colleagues in this whole area here. I can learn from you. You can learn from me, and together we can share and broaden this thing out. You know?
That's right. Exactly. That's exactly right, Dr. Kip. That's the reason why we're working together on trying to establish all of these different things. And this is where the idea came from, mainly that me and my wife, we were looking at all of the things that were available and the things that were not available.
Yeah.
And so some of the things that are available are not accessible. So we want to try to make it where we can begin to move this from one place to the next place where we can take it take it anywhere, because being accessible is important. It's the key. We want to become accessible to people in the different communities and be able to relate to the people in a way that it's not something that is foreign to them, but it becomes common to them. We want this to become something that's common. Bringing in something that it's a need, it's necessary, but also we want something, you know, that's going to be different, genuine, you know, and unique, that somebody can say, hey, this is what fits me. This is for me.
Right.
And so,
yeah, and I like the idea. I like the idea of being, you know, like a brunch. It's not long, you know, but they can come, hit the iron while it's hot, and they can move along with it. Listen, man, I really thank you for coming and being with us here, Coach Green. Okay. You know, Dr. Kent said, if you are interested in attending this relationship brunch, please see the link. Go to the link. Go to the link if you're interested in attending. But just for those who want to hear it, tell them what they need to do, if and what they would see, if and when, not if, when they go to the link, and to share this so that you can have a number of people who will come and participate in, because I know I may be a speaker, but I'm coming to learn also. I never lose an
So,
opportunity
so
to
am I.
learn. You understand what I'm saying
Yes.
here? So tell us the what, the when, the where, the why, all the stuff about the conference, and I'll let you have the last word on that, sir.
So, well, the conference, in order to get the tickets, you go onto Eventbrite, like Dr. Kit said, the link's down there. So click on the link and it'll direct you through. It's not complicated. It's very simple. And so you go in there, you see the information that's posted there. Also, more details about the conference. The brunch, it starts at 9. And so at 9 o'clock, we're going to have, speakers starting off in the beginning and go through, and then actually the brunch is going to be served somewhere around 11 o'clock, and there's definitely an itinerary, but we want to make sure we give space for real time interaction. So we're definitely going to follow that, and around 11 o'clock the brunch should start. We're going to take a little time brunch and some fellowship and taking a break, and then Dr. Kit's coming on, and he's going to shower us, pour us out all of that
Oh
wisdom,
man, come on, man.
and he's going to put some tools in our toolbox.
Come on, man. Listen. Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Listen, you know how us people are. You're gonna feed us. You want me to wake them up? People will fall asleep.
You wake them up and shake them up, Dr. Kid. Wake them up and shake them up. Yes, yeah. Also, I want to make sure that I do give the location just in case anyone has an issue with it. The location's going to be here in Houston, Texas. It's going to be located on Katy Freeway at the Hyatt Regency, Houston West. That's the name of that's going to be the name of the hotel, the event room. It's going to be at the Hyatt Regency, Houston West. And the address is 13210 Katy Freeway. That's Houston, Texas. 77079 is the zip code. And so also a simple email address. If you want to reach us through email, you can reach us at Greenbanks TCS. That's for therapy and coaching services. Greenbanks TCS. And that's our at gmail.com. And so that's also, you can find us on Facebook also, Greenbanks on Facebook also as well. And let me see if I got a phone number here. Let's see. Let me give you, well, you can get the, yeah. That.
Go ahead and tell us what it is, man. Let people write it down, man. Go ahead, if you got it.
Okay, yeah. Let me get you the direct number here. And so and that also, when you go on to the Eventbrite site, you'll see more information on there too as well. And so that's basically going to be listed on the site there. So I'll get Dr. Kit. That's all the information that I think I have right now.
Listen,
and
man.
So.
Listen, man, I appreciate you. And I want you to know this stuff here, man. I'm coming to Houston for the food. That's all I'm coming to Houston for.
Come on.
I ain't coming to Houston for nothing else but all that good food, man. Big Houston, man. Broad East Houston, man. Yeah. I'm coming for the food. Yes. I hear you got good facilities. If I fall out, y'all gonna take care of me.
You'll be, that's right. You stretch out, take a nap, get back up, and go another round.
All right.
Yes. Refuel, Dr. Kid.
Oh, you got it, man. Refueling. And you remember that one.
Refueling. Yeah, I just definitely.
Listen, Coach, man. We really appreciate you, man, coming on and just walking us through and just talking us through your conference, and also your background, how you got into this, and with your wife. Can you give a wife? We miss your wife, man. And so we don't want to end this without saying, give your wife a shout out, let her know that she is missed, and that my wife and I, we're looking forward to coming on down there. Give your wife a shout out, man. People just need to know about this wonderful woman at your side, man.
Yes, definitely. I know she would have been here if she was able to, and I know you hate that she missed it, but she's, my wife, she's amazing. Been working in this field for pretty close to about 5 or 6 years now, just directly doing family therapy, and also she's also a certified sex therapist too, as well. And so these different areas that we find that we've realized that we're putting together a package, and so
Right.
we want to be able to deliver a package to the people. And so I know that my wife, she's definitely going to be excited about the conference. She will be there for those of you who want to get a chance to meet her, and also she's definitely excited. She will be there, and definitely will be able to enjoy one another. And so just thank God for my wife, and I wish she could be here with me, because usually we like to tag team, Dr. Kid. I don't know
Oh,
how this would have went if she was on here with me, because I tell you that,
man. Oh, man. Listen, man.
yeah.
I I would give anything to see you and her tag team, man, because what you know, what she knows, and the way you come with it. Ooh, remember now, I know y'all.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We approach it with grace, but we thank God for it. So definitely, yeah. So we're excited. So
Okay.
we appreciate it. Thank you for letting me come on, Dr. Kidd. It's been an honor. Definitely enjoyed it.
It's mine, man. It's mine, man. Thank you, Ronnie, and thank you, Tracy. Thank you both. Thank you so much. And I want to thank my guest, Coach Green, and he was very informative. Got a lot of really good information about himself and just the whole idea of being a life coach, using your lifestyle from being a carpenter, building to church, building to help coaching people building. You've been in the building business. Nothing wrong with building from different perspectives. And we just want to thank you. And my wife and I want to thank you and your wife for inviting us down into Houston. And, we're looking forward to coming down and fellowshipping with you, during that time. Okay. So just keep the doors open, man. We'll be going to knock them down. We'll be down there. We'll be down there pretty soon. Okay.
We're
Thank you.
excited about it too. And also forgive me, also Miss Marlo, and also send greetings to you from me and my wife, and also to Michael and your family, your entire family, Dr. Kid. We thank y'all and we appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you so
And
much.
thank you
Thank you.
all the listeners, also the
Yeah.
comments, the listeners, and the followers. Thank you all. Thank you for
Yeah.
your support. And I'm excited to be able to get a chance to one day meet some of you. You're invited to our conference. Come and see Dr. Kid. Come see us and come see some good people and eat some
Yeah.
good food
Oh,
down in
I
H Town,
knew you were going to
Texas.
say that because I was going to think that's some good food. I hear about that
Yeah.
instant food down there.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. Well,
Thank
thank
you,
you so
Dr.
much.
Kid.
Thank you so much. All right. That's all there is for it tonight, folks. I thank you so much. Another great program. Not because of me, but because we had a good coach and you had some really, really good info. Very, articulate man. He knows his stuff from building to pastoring to life coaching of people. He and his wife, they have this wonderful, organization that they run. And so it's really good. And I thank you. I really do thank you. So, just like, share, and subscribe, do all the regular stuff. And again, if you do that, like, follow, share, and subscribe, you will grow this thing. This podcast will grow. Not just that it's not about entertainment. It's about getting and disseminating good information. And in terms of disseminating good info, this program will not be complete unless we get your information directly from you and not about you. So to be considered to be a part of the show in the future, we want you to get in touch with our team at drkidspeaks@gmail.com. drkidspeaks@gmail.com, and you will get a prompt response, and we will fit you in. You don't have to write an essay. You don't have to write nothing to God get in here. We will fit you in and make sure that we get to learn from you as you learn from us, and everybody will feel better after you've done it. Okay. So thank you all so much. Have yourself a blessed night. May God bless you and keep you safe as you go throughout this week. We'll see you again on next Monday at the same time, the Shake Up with Dr. Kid. We have another wonderful guest that will be coming to us next week. We don't want you to miss it, okay? And we don't want to miss you either. So drkidspeaks@gmail.com. You can be one of our guests. Looking forward to that. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.